Yeah, I'm on placement at the moment.
Okay, but you will never die at work.
Actually, doctors have one of the highest suicide rates. Yeah. If they're choosing to die, that's their own choice at work. If they want to do a risky job, that's their choice.
I understand.
So I don't get what the point is. Men build the world but can barely run it. Have you seen most of the countries are run by men?
That's okay.
New Zealand is one of the best run countries and it's run by a female.
You're studying to be a doctor. Yeah? Okay, you're going to be a doctor, obviously, in a hospital. That hospital has to be built. So those builders, before you can get your posh title of doctor and this, that and the other, there has to be a hospital that you're working in. Now that hospital is built by builders. And even though you may look down on builders, without no builders, there are no hospitals. Without certain inventors, there are no stethoscopes, there are no thermometers, there are no tools for you to use. And see, that's what I'm saying. You're the kind of person, you'll be a doctor, you'll walk past a building site, yeah, look down on the builders, yeah, and those same people are risking building floor after floor after floor after floor after floor, yeah, risking their lives, yeah, to build a hospital, yeah, for people to get looked after in, and for you to work in. Because there's no builders, there's no hospital. There's no hospital, you can't be a doctor. So you're just ungrateful, man. I pray I'd never become as entitled and that's what I'm saying. So as entitled as this person, man. She's not even, the thing is, it's not just that she's ignorant. It's that she's arrogant and she's ignorant and she's not aware she's ignorant. You know. Astaghfirullah, man. Like, the thing is, it's just so annoying. Like his look, the look on her face, when he said, look, because she tried to say that being a doctor is one of the most stressful jobs, and sometimes there's doctors that die from stress, yeah? Anyway, most doctors are men anyway, but let's just give you the argument. She's saying that being a doctor is just as hard as working on an oil rig or like being a builder or being a scaffolder, which is not true. Because yeah, you may be stressed out because you work really long hours and this, that and the other, but working really long hours and climbing high-rise buildings or building buildings and being, so high up with, the moving parts and stuff like that, and like being really high altitudes and stuff like that, and all this, the metal and the rock and all this stuff, like, the scaffolders are carrying like piles of wood on their shoulder going up the stairs and this, that and the other, I'm saying, walking on, like thin planks of wood and this, that and the other, so getting splinters all in their hand and this, look, slipping off and falling down and stuff. Look, it's very rare that a doctor dies at work. You know what I'm saying? But these builders are always getting injuries, is just a part of their daily work. Scaffolders, builders, you know what I'm saying? Like, injuries are part of their daily work, busting up their thumb, busting up like their arms and this, that, and the other, knocking their leg, like bumping into something. Like, you can't compare the two. When it comes to physical danger, the patient is more at risk than a doctor when a doctor works on a patient. The patient is the one who really goes through the risk. But anyway, the point I'm just trying to say is that this is just so disgusting. This girl, this woman, girl, whatever she is, like, her attitude is so, it just stinks of privilege and unappreciativeness. Their feminist headquarters, yeah? The feminist headquarters are bloody built by men. All these universities that you're doing all these anti-men talks, yeah? They were built by men. The microphone you're using to talk against men and talk about how all men are trash, was made by men. Look at men, how men are running this world. They're barely running it. The shoes that you wear were either made by boys, yeah, or men, yeah. The car, if you drove, was made by men, yeah. And you never stopped. You just get in your car and drive. You just get in your car and drive. You don't even think about like how it was made, the effort that went into it, the strength that went into turning the boats, how to put everything correctly, the weight to lift it. Like like she just gets in a car, like whichever way you travel to this debate or whatever, this conversation, like it was like the thing came from men, whether it was your shoes, yeah, your trainers, whether it was your your car, whether it was a bus, whether it was a tube. Like she's the kind of person, she just gets on a tube, yeah, goes down the escalators in a tube, doesn't think how it was built, while she's on the tube, she doesn't think that each track, yeah, you know, was laid down. Like she goes, look at the world. She goes, look at the world. It's barely. Men made the world and it's barely running. Forget Trump and Biden and Boris and all these. Forget their individual failures. Forget them as prime ministers and presidents. Think about generally the world, the infrastructure, the buildings, the house, your house, the house that you live in. The house that you live in, you press the light, electricity comes on. Yeah? You turn on the tap, you know, hot water comes out. You have a fridge that keeps your food from going off. You sleep in a bed. Your bed was made by a man. Your house was made by a man. Your toilet was made by a man. Your stairs were made by a man. Your front door was made by a man. And I'm not on this man versus women and things. I believe people need families. You know, they need marriage. They need, you know, a mother and a father. You got the mother for the nurturing and the mercy and the like loving emotions and so forth, you know. And then you have the father for the, you know, the discipline, you know what I'm saying, the strong example, you know, the struggle for hard times and so forth, and they both complement each other, yeah. But she's so ungrateful, man. Even the feminists, all these feminists, yeah, extreme feminists, I would say, or feminists, yeah, like all these lectures you have about by men, you do it in halls made by men. They are not, your shoes are not barely fitting on you, yeah. The car you're driving is not barely driving. The bus you took is not barely, you know, barely containing you while you travel in it safely. The tube is not barely running, yeah. The tube is not nearly coming off the tracks, so you're not nearly dying every time you go on the tube. You're just very, 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 very ungrateful. Look at men, they're running the world, they run the world, but they're barely running it. What do you mean barely? Does your light in your house barely work? Does your bed that you sleep in barely hold up? Does your shower that you have barely shoot out water? Does your ceiling barely hold up? Does your front door barely barely hold on and not fall off? That's one good thing about growing up on a council estate. When you come from not very much, you realise when things do get better, and as life, you do progress in life and so forth, you remember not to look down on people because like you was also nothing once. This woman, yeah, I'm gonna call her Miss Privilege. This woman is so ungrateful, so unappreciative, so naive. I don't know the words to sum up this woman. This woman. She said, what is it? That men run the world, but look at it, it's barely running. Or words to their effect. Just that sentence lets you know how ungrateful and unappreciative she is. She's the type, like this kind of woman, yeah, is so privileged, yeah, that she's oblivious and unaware of everything that's going on around her. So, for example, she's in the studio now at this debate conversation event. Look, the society can't survive without mothers. Every society without good mothers, yeah, is doomed. It will fall apart because mothers, you know, while the man is generally out at work, are raising the kids, yeah, and they're priceless. If you have bad mothers, yeah, no society, no matter how much money you got, no matter how much technology you've got, if a society doesn't have good mothers, it will fall apart because they are the foundation block of society. Yeah. Also, I wanted to address this part.
Understand? Your mistake, patient dies. My mistake on Ulrich, I die. People around me die. Every day. That's a massive difference between men's jobs and females' jobs. We tend to we love putting our lives on the line. We love doing some dumb, mad, mental ninja stuff. And we will do it. And we love it. We love getting battered. We love getting shot at. We love it. That's why men go to the army.
Yeah, I get him. Yeah, sure.
Call of Duty. Most medics in the army are females. They don't have weapons. They don't want weapons. They're not allowed to have weapons in general, medics. But they don't die. Medics don't die. Soldiers die. They're most men. Honestly, I'm just letting you know that. It's like most females' jobs. Females don't tend to die at work. They just don't die.
But if they're choosing to die, that's their own choice at work. If they want to do a risky job, that's their choice.
I understand.
So I don't get what the point.
That is so ignorant. She's so narrow-minded. She said she's studying to be a doctor. Yeah. He went on to say, look, there's certain jobs that men do that they die. For example, scaffolders, you know, builders, like, you know, people that work on oil rigs, like, and he's saying that like men do a lot of more dangerous jobs than women do, yeah, and so forth, yeah, and men don't mind doing it, you know. And her thing was her combat or her reply to his statements was, well, if they choose to do serious jobs, yeah, that's their choice and it's their fault if they get hurt.